Hello guys, this is Thomas from TPI,
And I'm Cindy.
and today we're gonna be doing an about us. So we're not gonna do it the traditional way where every company will just tells you their why, their what, their who, or all of that. We curated 10 questions that we're just gonna ask each other, and hopefully it gives you guys a little bit of insight what it is that we're doing. You want to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, first question we have is what inspired us to start creating content focused on positivity and wholesomeness?
So I feel like nowadays everybody's on social media. I'm on social media, the kids are on social media, even old people are on social media nowadays. And ever since we had a baby, ever since we started a family, I've been moving myself away from negative things. I just don't want any of that kind of around me. And if you're a social media user, you know how hard it is to kind of not have that infiltrate your algorithm. The negative content is what curates the views, what gets everybody hooked, and it's kind of what gets pushed out the most. So an effect to and an attack to pretty much what the status quo is. I want to make wholesome content and hopefully inspire other people to want to do the same. Because I'm pretty sure if I felt this way, other people have been feeling this way too. And no one wants to be negative. All the time you're on social media, a lot of people feel like hating on someone is the easiest thing to get like views or talking bad about somebody or talking bad about an event, and all of that kind of does is just divide us. It makes us feel um insecure. You don't want to do things because you're scared of what the next person might say. But when you start surrounding yourself with more positive thinking, with more positive content, you start growing that security in yourself, and you start going out for or you start becoming more outgoing, and you start expressing yourself in a way of like, hey, I don't care what people are gonna say about me. Like I know the people around me and the people that support me are gonna stay positive, and they're gonna give me a continue to give me a positive outlook. You have anything to add on to that? No. All right. Let me ask you your question then.
Okay.
When life gets tough, what mindset or principle keeps you moving?
So, when life gets tough, I usually always like to think of that saying. I'm not sure how it goes, but that saying that's like, is this going to matter in 5 minutes? Is this going to matter in 30 minutes or even a year to 5 years from now? And usually, as a person that I struggle a lot with stress and I get very overwhelmed easily, that's something that I constantly have to ask myself because if I don't, then I literally let it consume me until I possibly break down. So that's what keeps me going. And it's hold on. Yeah. And that's what keeps me going to not be so hard on myself. Okay.
I feel like I'm the opposite. I want things to kind of be hard. I feel like like, not all the time are you challenged with resilience. So I feel like sometimes you want that challenge. You want to show yourself like it's easy to be happy and positive during, the happy moments of your life. But sometimes when you face those challenges, I think that that's really where you grow that resilience. And those days are the days that, that positivity does matter. And that's when, you have that mindset of like, hey, can I be positive even when I'm in the worst mood ever?
Well, right, exactly. So, what that's what I'm saying. That kind of goes with what I just said, though, because
Yeah.
I also saw this saying that it's um like when life gets tough or when you can't see the bigger picture, sometimes you just have to take a step back and see what you do have. And we have a lot of things to be grateful for, seriously.
hmm
Yeah.
And it's also kind of like when you're hitting the gym, when you're lifting weights, when it's the hardest, that's when you're breaking your muscle. That's when you're about to gain muscle. And I think it's the same concept with life.
It's true.
When you're going through these tough times, that really builds your character.
Yeah. Okay, next question.
Yeah.
Why do you believe spreading positivity through media is so important today?
I think media and the internet has always been the concept of connecting people together. Now more than ever, you can talk to pretty much anyone across the world just through social media. You could see this video in Argentina, the United States, and Japan, and the other side of the world. And that right there is more of a reason for us to want to spread that positivity because now we can make a real big impact, even to people who you might not even see. Like you could be a positive person, and the people that know you, they know that you're a positive person, and you influence them, and you give out those good vibes and that good aura to them. But now more than ever, you could connect with even more people and spread that even more, and it's contagious. So this is a way, you could get millions of people to, feed into your energy. Where in life, what do you see at max 200 people a year, that you actually like really speak to? Maybe like 50 that you really you could really connect with. You have anything to add?
No.
No. Okay, let me ask your question. What kind of impact do you hope your videos will have on people's lives?
What kinds of impact? Well, a strong impact. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, but it's like what you were saying. Like spreading positivity is really contagious, and it's also like what you said heard earlier. The hate in media right now can also be contagious. So it's kind of like you don't see positivity really spreading in the algorithm, and it truly sucks because when you are looking for it you have to search for it. So as long as we can put bits and pieces on the internet, hopefully it can make someone's day. It can make someone think more about their future, better things, better habits for their lives. And yeah.
Yeah. I really hope everybody from our videos gets inspired. I hope they see us doing what we want to do, and I hope they take it as in, hey, if they could do it, I could do it too.
Yeah, and
Or
it's truly the little things that make you have a better day, that put a smile on people's faces. And it's really not that hard to spread positivity, and it literally costs us $0 to make someone smile, to compliment someone, you know? Yeah.
okay, next
Oh,
question.
okay, next question. What's one personal story that shaped your mission of motivating and inspiring others?
Hmm, that's a big question right there.
It's hard.
I mean, I would say my wife. She's been able to pretty much live out her dream. From one day to another, she decided to quit her 9 to 5 working at banking and started chasing her passion for
You're gonna make me
beauty.
cry. Not on
Uh,
camera.
but it's true. It's one of those things that, when you're so close to it, it almost feels like you're going through it too.
That's
And
true.
that's one of those stories that I feel like had a big impact on me. I don't really come from a background or a family of entrepreneurs or people that, chase their dreams. Most of my whole life growing up, all my parents ever told me was just stay in school. If you stay in school, you'll be good. And they're not wrong for that. I understand what they were trying to tell me. But sometimes you have bigger aspirations than, going the traditional path. And it comes with a lot, but I think being so close to it and seeing someone, being able to be successful through it, it really inspired me to make like to want to inspire others.
Yeah. Um, that it's like the only way that I was also ever to even leave my 9 through 5 was because of you. But because I just feel like if I didn't have him, it definitely would have been a lot harder. Because he did support me through it all, and I had him through there, through everything. But my parents also told me the same thing. I had to go to school the whole traditional way, become a nurse or become a doctor or work in a bank, or and which I did work in a bank, but it just never felt right. I was always the rule breaker. I was never listening to anybody. And that's how I knew. And I did like working at the bank. I actually loved it. But I just knew that there was always something more to do than just sit there. And which there's nothing wrong with just working at a bank and sitting there and having that stable income. Because sometimes I even thought about like, while I'm doing what I do now in my career, like, oh my God, if I only had my 9 to 5 and not stay so long hours and not put in so many hours in my business and whatnot, sometimes I do crave that stable income where I could just go in and come back home and that's it, you know. But I forgot where I was going with this.
I mean, you want to go to the next
Yeah, you can go to the next
question?
question. Um,
Well, as
okay.
me, how do you balance being authentic while also creating content that uplifts others?
How do you balance being authentic? I don't know. I guess like just be like down to earth and real with yourself. Like not everyone's perfect. And I see that through also like doing my clients at my job, my in my business. Um, it's just you when you're more real and more understanding and compassionate with others, and you understand that life is just crazy sometimes, and truly what you need to do is spread love. Um, that is the most authentic that you can be. Um, and that's also how relatable you are too. And I have learned to be able to balance that, like being authentic, but also um trying to uplift others. It's like I say, like you have to have compassion and understanding of like how the world is going around you when you have your own, like you're also in your own bubble. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like everyone is going through different things all the time. Like nobody has it harder than you. Nobody has it. Some people say you have it so easy and this, but nobody really knows. So like truly it's just like spreading love, being real, and just like trying to uplift others at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's gonna be one of the things that we're gonna get misunderstood on the most, because they're gonna say, oh, they want to, promote positivity and they want to spread love and happiness, but we're not. That doesn't mean that we're people that are always gonna be positive, or
Yeah.
always gonna be motivating, or always gonna be inspirational, or that you should follow in our footsteps all the time. This is just, we want to spread that and have people kind of understand that, hey, you can fall off that horse, but it's your choice if you want to stay off the horse or get back on it. There's gonna be times where you're just not in the mood to, be positive. Sometimes you
Yeah,
get,
sometimes you just want to complain and
yeah,
just continue having a bad day and reflect that on others. And sometimes I have a bad day, with the baby, and I have a headache and this, and sometimes I just like want to scream at Thomas and make him have a bad day because I'm having a bad day and it's not fair. So sometimes I have those days, but it's not worth it.
yeah, and when you're on the other side of it, when they're trying to reflect that on you, you have to be able to just show that compassion and that empathy of like, hey, they don't really mean it. They're just having a bad day. And when you are the person that is having the bad day, at the ending of the day is gonna end. So you can
Yeah,
either turn it into a bad day or a bad week or a bad couple of days, but the decision is up to you.
that's
And
true.
that's what we want to spread. We want to make sure that, like, hey, we understand. There's sometimes where you are gonna complain. There's sometimes that you're gonna be upset and things are gonna frustrate you, but it doesn't mean that it needs to consume all of your life. We wanna bring awareness to like, hey, these are the steps that you could take to get off of that mind state. Because sometimes life just doesn't go your way. Sometimes a lot of things that you can't control just are gonna happen to you, and that's where when you start learning. on focusing on the things that you could control, those things start having a bigger impact on you, and they start, helping you get out of that slump. Because sometimes it feels like the ending is just so far away, but then one day
Yeah.
you just wake up and
You can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
literally.
much, and you could start seeing like the improvement, and you could have that self-awareness of like, hey, positivity is not about always being a happy person. It's a skill,
Yeah,
ultimately it's something that you need to work on, and the best time to work on it is when you're not feeling positive.
literally. Mm-hmm.
You want to go to the next one?
Yeah. Okay. What can viewers expect to learn or feel when they watch our videos?
So you can expect to feel motivated, inspired, and hopefully entertained. We want to make sure that like we give you guys some real life things, some real life skills, and some real life experiences that you guys probably have, and like probably don't see the content around it, and try to we want to be relatable. We want to connect with you guys on that level. You have anything else? I don't have a deep answer for that question.
Um, no, yeah, it's like what you said, yeah, the to feel inspired, to it doesn't cost much to just spread love and positivity or just even be positive when you don't feel like it. Um, and yeah, as far as content, hopefully we could be entertaining. At least Thomas can be entertaining. I'm not that entertaining, but you'll definitely see more of him. And yeah, hopefully he's entertaining. Okay. Okay. Oh, no.
Oh, and you guys can expect most definitely to see us fail. We're gonna fail a lot. We've never taken any photography or videography or any content or any any
Yeah.
courses or any
We're
classes,
we're
but
literally just doing this for fun.
yeah, we just wanted to do it, so we're doing it.
Yeah.
Um, so your question is, why do you highlight entrepreneurships and books in your content? What role do they play in your message?
Well, I don't know if I was the one that came up with the book idea or was it you?
I can't remember
I
that.
can't remember, but with the book situation, I definitely read more than him, and I got him into the reading. And so I read a lot of like self-help books. I used to read more like fantasy, like romance and stuff. But when I started reading the self-help books, that's what has truly helped me open my mind so much and like the whole positivity world and the compassion and understanding of people and literally the psychology of people. So um I I was basically saying that I don't know who was the one that came up with it, but I thought it was kind of cool to kind of implement the whole book situation and kind of lay out like what our favorite quotes, our favorite little paragraphs that kind of have made like a mind shift. Um, and as far as like highlighting entrepreneurship, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur and I go through so many things, and hopefully I can help others out in at least like in the beauty industry, or at least opening up a business and financially, mentally, even physically. Um so yeah, I hope no, I that's why we highlight entrepreneurship and the whole book series.
And I feel like right now, a lot of people do not want to work jobs anymore. I think we're hitting that turn in society where more people want to be entrepreneurs
Yeah,
than
like this generation mostly.
yeah,
Yeah.
they want to be their own boss. They want to work for themselves.
Yeah.
So, I feel it and I see it a lot. So I wanted to make sure, I could tap into those people, because those people, there is no course in high school that teaches you about entrepreneurship, or at least when I went to high school, there was no course. If your parents aren't in it, it's
You
really
won't
hard.
know. You really won't know.
Yeah, and there's so
Like,
much information being gate cat behind $1,000 paywall. Oh, take my course, take this class, pay me this certain amount of money, and I'll teach you how to do it. And I don't understand why we need to be playing that type of game when there's enough money for everybody to eat. There's enough money for everybody to have fun. There's if you want something, you could just go and do it. All you're doing is if you're paying for some information, is just trying to skip out on the work. And when you don't do the work, you're setting yourself up for failure. You need to mess up. You need to go through it,
Yeah.
and that's the best. That's the best teaching method, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for the books, I just feel like the books are a test of time. There's books that have survived, decades. So that information is so valuable. And when you get out of high school or, out of college, you kind of stop reading, to be honest, or at least I stopped reading because you get so consumed with life.
Well, and also the phones. You get consumed by phone, which is a lot of negative content. There's no quotes out there being pushed out that can mind shift you, can make you have a different framework. Like it's really hard, especially since like people are always on the phone. So that's why I think it was a good idea to like implement the whole book thing. Like
And
push it out there.
it's honestly the cheapest class that you could have. You pay $12 for this book and you have so much knowledge, so much information.
Yeah.
And it's usually curated to whatever it is that you want to learn about instead of having to learn everything that, you're interested in this part of history, but you have to learn about all of the history. Now you can find a book that's just about that part of history. And so that's why I think books is something that it's also been kind of forgotten, with social media and with media being such a big thing. People don't want to read. We want to watch videos. So we wanted to bring the books into those videos, to kind of to kind of help people want to get back into that. Next
Okay.
question.
Next question. What does positivity mean to you beyond just smiling or good vibes?
Well, like I said earlier, positivity to me is a skill. Positivity is not, oh, I'm having the worst day ever, but I'm just gonna keep smiling. Positivity is knowing like, oh, if I smile, that triggers a part of my brain that lets me override what I'm feeling. Or, hey, I'm self-aware right now that I know I'm in a bad mood. Let me not make a decision right now. Or, hey, I'm not feeling the most positive. Let me move away from this situation right now before I make it worse than it is. That's what I feel like positivity is. Positivity is not live, laugh, love. Those if it was that easy, everybody would be positive all of the time. I don't think it's positivity is something that's so easy to achieve, especially in nowadays when we have so much criticism and like we're in a world where anything you could have the biggest mess up in the world and someone could post it on their phone and you might go extremely viral and then you're known as that person for the rest of your life. So I want to make sure that people understand like, hey, positivity is not about always being happy. There's a lot more to it. It's a skill set and it's a lifestyle that you really have to embrace and you have to really surrender yourself to it. There's a lot of things that logically don't make you happy, but sometimes they are the things that will lead you to happiness.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Uh, if someone watches your channel for the first time, what's the one thing you want them to take away?
I don't know how to answer that.
Well, I guess I would say do whatever you want to do. Like I
Yeah.
think that's like in the simplest form, just do it.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is that you want to do, whatever you're into, if you feel like it interests you, you
Yeah,
might as well just do
Just
it.
do it. Yeah.
If you mess up along the way, if the mess ups are fun, that is something that you want to do. if it's something where you mess up and you just never want to do it again, at least you know that's not something you want to do. You know, you tried and it wasn't for you. That's fine. You'll never have to wonder what if, but you just got to do it. Nowadays, I feel like more people are scared to do what they want to do because they're so scared of being judged.
Well, yeah, and also like this generation is like they're scared to be judged. They're scared, um, someone's gonna say something on the internet, and also they want the easy way in and out. So where were you going with this?
I don't think I know. Where were you going with it?
Oh my God, but you said something that caught my attention.
I don't know.
Damn it. Um, oh no, because like you're just saying like, oh, like do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because sometimes you get caught up in the perception of things, of like how other people are gonna perceive you, instead of you just realizing that life is your playground. It's all about what you want to do. It's not about how
Yeah.
everybody's looking at you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to be in that moment and just have fun. And yeah, sometimes fun looks weird to other people, you know. Sometimes they don't understand it, they don't appreciate it. But, you know, fun only, or like happiness, and only comes from the inside. So you gotta make sure that you let that happiness come out. Because if you keep bottling it in, it's eventually just gonna disappear, you know. Or if you let other people dictate how you can express yourself in a happy manner, you will just only be not authentic. I would say you will just be living life through their eyes instead of living life through your experience and, you know, through your spirit.
Yeah. And also, what I want you guys to take away from our videos is like how we said earlier, this is our first time doing videos. We're gonna fail. We're probably gonna look not like we're not gonna say the greatest things. We're trying to explain to you things that we've been through and have read and have, loved some quotes about, whatever. But we're literally just having fun and sharing our experiences with you. So it's like, just do whatever you want with this information and live your life. And yeah, this is us.
And I think that's. Is there anything else you want to add?
Well, also, like what we want to take. So TPI is the Purpose Initiative. How do we come up with that?
I mean, we were just focused in on pretty much trying to help people find their purpose. I
Yeah.
think that that's one thing where I feel like a lot of people in life, they get to a point where they're just at a crossroad where they just don't know where to go or what to do. They feel like they're stuck, and
Yeah.
I feel like you hear that a lot from people that are 18 through like 25. They just feel like they're stuck in life, and that's just
Well, also
them
it even goes from like 30 to like 45. We're kind of
Yeah.
like their 20s and like they're entering their 30s or in their mid 30s, and they feel like their 20s have flown by and they've done nothing with their life. And people have so many different scenarios. So like I feel like the Purpose Initiative is kind of like, we help you take the initiative to your purpose.
Because if you don't do it, then
Yeah.
you won't know it's your purpose.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you could get unstuck, by trying things, by doing whatever it is that you feel right. Hey, you might have 1,000,001 ideas in your head. It doesn't mean go do all of them right now. Just
That's
target
literally
one,
my struggle.
go to the next one.
Yeah.
You will find eventually one thing that fits you. And purpose doesn't always. Oh my God.
Don't tell me.
Oh my